Hey people, I thought maybe it's time for another one of my monologues concerning Google. I think most of us involved in projects that include Google services have realized by now that no Google service is safe from changing or just getting scrapped altogether. Frankly, no other company has a larger track record of canceled services. Last year, we saw the Google Assistant policy changing on a rather short notice, hurting the service's IFTTT integration pretty bad, and so leaving a lot of IFTTT users without any viable options. Yes, we did get better possibilities with actions, but that didn't make up for the lost functionality in IFTTT. So why did I make this video now? Well, we'll get to that in a second, but recently Google announced it will no longer support third-party smart displays. So if you don't know what these things are, they're practically Google Nest hubs made by third parties like Lenovo, JBL, and LG. This means that if you bought a Lenovo smart display a few years back, it's going to get rendered useless in a somewhat near future. Naturally, they won't stop working just because they aren't updated, but like everything else without a software update, things will become less and less useful and finally obsolete. Now, I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, as there weren't that many third parties making these products to start with. But if you look at the bigger picture with Google's track record and the direction Google has been pushing Assistant and their Assistant hardware last couple of years, it does raise some concerns. Add to that the latest chains of events and the picture starts to clear a bit. At the end of March, a Google memo was leaked to CNBC titled Changes to Assistant and Bard Teams, sent out by the Vice President and lead of Google Assistant's business unit, Sisi Xiao. According to CNBC, the memo ultimately informed employees that the Google Assistant team is being reformed and that the Assistant Engineering Vice President, Amar Subramanya, will leave and instead lead the engineering for the Bard team. Bard, if you haven't heard, is Google's generative AI, their version of ChatGPT, if you will. And so now you can probably understand what's brewing at Google headquarters. The AI race, or should I say the AI rush, is a top priority for Google now, and Assistant is progressively becoming obsolete technology at a fast rate. Does this mean that Google will kill off the Assistant? Probably not, or honestly, who knows, it's Google, but what's likely is that Bard will replace Assistant or become some type of evolution of it. And so is that a bad thing? No, probably not. Who doesn't want a smarter voice assistant, right? But how will this be implemented and how will it interact with your smart home? Will you have to redo and remake all your home routines? What about your Google Actions? And where does this leave us SDK users? Now that is probably the most worrying aspect and probably the reason I'm making this video. Because SDK users, let's face it, we are pretty low priority. And those of us who have large-scale projects will probably be left in the dust. Or will we be getting developer access to Bard the way we have with Assistant today? Only time will tell, but I think it's a bit concerning. Anyway, that's all I got this round. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm really curious about your opinions. See you soon again in a real episode. Hootie out.